business, people are so busy and things are moving so quickly that for you to not know what you're doing when you're sending your music out, it's not a good thing. And it can leave a bad taste in people's mouths, and it can only take one faux pas to close a door.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And that's kind of the scary thing. Cause I mean, I know I had a forward and then we met at the rally, but I know I had sent you some stuff early on, but you were really good at least giving feedback and, to me. And then I listened.
Yeah, you did. You did. And I appreciate that.
Yeah. Cause I guess some people aren't, it's like, this is my music, take it or leave it. I'm not going to change things.
And that's fine.
Run into those people.
I do run into those people. Yeah. And you know what? It's fine. And I run into people that are, they're adverse to the kind of business model that I have, which is absolutely fine. I'm a songwriter. I'm a songwriter. I'm a producer. I've been doing this my entire life. I get it. I've run into everything you can imagine, in the way of artists. I've worked with them. I've performed with them. I am one, and I know how it can be. Everybody's different, and just like any relationship, some work, some don't.
Right.
And for me, I try and be okay with it, as long as someone's not a jerk,
right.
then, it's like, hey, if we don't agree, it's fine. It's fine not to agree.
Now, you mentioned your business model. So you chose to be an exclusive publisher. So why don't you tell us why you decided to go that way and kind of what the advantages are?
Sure. Well, it wasn't like I chose to be an exclusive publisher. I mean, back when I started, that's all there was.
Okay.
And, in my estimation, that's really all there should be. The non-exclusive thing, I completely understand it, but legally, it doesn't fly. That's my opinion. Other people disagree. But when I'm signing a contract with NBC, CBS, ABC, HBO, you name it, right, and I say, I represent this song 100% when I sign the contract.
Right.
I can't really sign that legally when 5 other publishers have that song under a different title.
Right.
The law, truthfully, is you can't copyright a title. So when you have 5 publishers all saying they control, I love you, baby, right, I love you tomorrow, baby, 5 more titles with the same song, a copyright is the underlying composition. Otherwise, I might as well take I Want to Hold Your Hand and call it I Want to Hold Your Hand Tomorrow, right, and say I represent this song.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You cannot legally do that, in my estimation. Now, people get away with it, and I get it. It's trying to maximize profits. There's, I don't know how to explain it other than I come from an old school publishing concept, which is why I work with writers, try and engage with them creatively. When I sign something, I'm not messing around.
Right.
And I want those people I'm signing to look at it the same way, that they're not messing around. If you're just throwing stuff against the wall, just trying to see what fits and what works, that's okay. I mean, I think it's going to end up blowing up. I mean, there's so many things. I'm glad I chose to maintain, because believe me, I had a lot of people go, hey, why don't you go non-exclusive? But I chose to maintain the way I began. And I think over time, it's going to prove to have been the smart move for a variety of reasons. One, you've got audio recognition that's out there.
Yeah.
So now if you have a song placed in a film and your song has 5 other publishers representing it, and those 5 publishers go to that film, they go, oh, that's my song.
Yeah.
That's the song I represent. They pick up the phone to the production company, and the production company is now fielding 5 publishers. And I say 5, it could be 10.
Right.
Going, hey, you used my song, you didn't clear it with da-da-da-da. You follow what I'm saying? So now it creates a problem for the production company. The other thing is, if it's audio recognition, if it's something that's, on the television, TuneSat hears it, they go, oh, well, whose song is it?
Who's it? Who could it come from? Yeah. Which publisher did it come from?
Correct.
I mean, you're hoping that the publishers are vetting enough that, they would know when their song's used, but if the future does come to this whole audio watermark thing.
Well, you say that, and you're absolutely right. But here's the problem with publishers like myself. I've got blanket licenses with major companies, meaning that we've negotiated a fee. So if it's a song or an instrumental used in X, Y, or Z, we know, they know, we all know this is how much money it is.
Right.
So it's not like they have to pick up the phone to me and go, hey, is it okay if I use your song in Pretty Little Liars? Or is it okay if I use your song? They know it's okay. My job is to generate income and to generate business for you, for me, for all the writers I represent. So when there's a pre-negotiated deal, they don't have to pick up the phone to me to let me know a piece of music was used. And that goes with the promo departments. That goes, so
they just know that, this type of use, it's going to be this much. It's from Lactose.
Exactly. So
it's like done.
And you know what? There are things that I don't find out about those placements until after the fact.
Sometimes I don't find out until the statement comes. Oh, look, money.
Well, exactly. And truthfully, the way the departments are being run these days, because of the consolidation, when you've got, NBC, Universal being gobbled up by Comcast, or you've got, some of these major corporations that are down to licensing departments of 2 people that are handling 10 shows.
Yeah.
And if it's a music-intensive group of shows, can you imagine the amount of paperwork these people have to get through? So they're always happy when someone like me has a pre-negotiated deal, because they don't have to worry. They know everything's okay. They'll get to the paperwork. Right. But there are certain corporations, and I won't mention names, but I won't find out for 9 months after the fact.
Sure.
So I've had writers reach out to me and go, hey, I heard blah, blah, blah in blah, blah, blah. That was my song, and I'm like, well, that's great, and, as soon as I get papered on it, because the paperwork has to come before the payment comes.
Sure.
It's just becoming crazy that way.
Sometimes I don't find out until like somebody will email me or something like, hey, are you selling this song? Or, I'm like, why?
Right.
And then they'll tell you, what it was in, and then you go find out. I mean, not from you, this is from other publishers.
Sure.
This kind of thing I've found out, which is kind of cool. At the same time, you wish that you'd had the song then on iTunes or something, like ready for purchase. But
it's an interesting thing, that whole it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy.
What would you tell? So there's a lot of talk, and people are kind of scared to sign their stuff exclusively, and maybe it's because they're artists and they're repping. But it's, to me, if I don't know the people to get my music licensed to, I would rather sign it to somebody in perpetuity that I know has those connections. But it's like hard for people to take that hurdle. It's like, what advice did you give people to seriously consider these exclusive deals, other than what we talked about?
Well,
I mean, to get over the being afraid of it.
Well, it's like anything, jumping out of an airplane, or or getting up in the morning, getting in your car and getting on the LA freeway. I mean, it's a leap of faith.
Yeah.
And engaging in this business is a leap of faith.
Yeah.
There are no guarantees. I have people that sign non-exclusive with companies I won't mention, and they reach out to me all the time, and they go, hey, this has been with X for the last 3 years, 0 placements. Would you listen to it? So I'm like, sure. 9 times out of 10, there's a reason it didn't get placed. So I end up taking a pass on it. But, just because you sign a non-exclusive doesn't mean it's going to get used either.
Right. But I guess people feel like they have more control over their music.
Well, I think it's a false sense of that.
Yeah.
Because how do you have any control once you've handed it off to 5 publishers?
True. I guess, like you said, it's like people are just trying to build, they're spreading things out, try to do everything to try to see what's going to hit and bring up and make more money. So,
well, there's another piece with the non-exclusive that's an interesting phenomenon that I've been hearing, which didn't even dawn on me, to be honest with you. But there's also the end users are aware of the non-exclusive as well.
Mm-hmm.
So if they know, hey, this piece of music's with this company,
True.
and this piece of music's with this company, and this piece of music's with this company, well, you know what? This company I can leverage down to only charge me this amount to use it. Because if I go to these guys, they're going to charge me more.
Right.
So it's just this race to the bottom.
Yeah.
In an attempt to monetize. And again, to me, it comes back to just ethics and legality.
Yeah.
I can't represent a piece of music. I can't sign a contract with all these companies and say, I represent this. When I don't.
Yeah.
Because 5 other people have.
Right.
How can I say I represent that?
Right. That's true. And you, do you, what was on? I just had a question in my head and it went away. Oh, well.
It's okay. It's okay. The exclusive non-exclusive thing is truthfully a personal choice.
Yeah.
I think it diminishes the value of the music.
Yeah.
I like being able to say to my clients, and you know what? Every piece of music that's in my catalog, you cannot find anywhere else.
Yeah.
To me, now all of a sudden, it's like going to, I won't mention any stores, but you go to the store and it's like, well, that's the same shirt I saw over at this store, and I saw this shirt over at this store, and this shirt. It's like, I like those stores where you go, you know what? If I go here, I know that I'm getting this and its quality, and I'm only going to get it here.
Right.
And to me, that brings more value to the music.
To the music, exactly.
But what I say to people is the minute you mix art with business, now everything changes.
Yeah.
Art on its own, which I love art.
Sure.
Art on its own, it's art. But the minute you want to monetize something, the game changes a little bit. Then you have to pay attention to the marketplace. What do people want?
Yeah.
You know,
it's a business.
It's a business.
And, you know, a lot of people don't look at it as a business. You know, people are like, then I have a question.
That's it.
I was going to say, and you talked about, you know, researching the current ads that are out there. Would you suggest doing that like through YouTube? Do they list who the producers are, who the ad agencies are? Like, how would people try to get in touch with those particular people responsible for the ads?
The ad agency side or the producers of the music side?
Whichever, not the producer. I mean the like the music supervisor, the ad agency side. Like the.
So I would say this. I mean, you can definitely find that information. It's all over the internet. There's a website called iSpot TV, which my ads are on, and I know because I look and it tells me how many times they're running. So I'll see like 2,000, 3,000, 3,400. I'll be like, oh my God, that's great. My SAG money is going to be awesome. You can go to iSpot TV. There's a website called tvcommercialssongs.com, where you can see like all the ads from like Super Bowl and all the commercials. And a lot of times it'll have an article about the ad, about the ad agency also. And it's not that difficult to go to LinkedIn and type in, let's say there's thousands of ad agencies, but there's a few really big ones that have chains of offices underneath them. So let's say Ogilvy, McCann, McGarry Bowen, Saatchi & Saatchi, BBDO, DDB, Goodby. If you were to type into LinkedIn, creative director, BBDO, creative director, Ogilvy, Chicago, broadcast producer, Ogilvy, New York City, you're going to get lists of people. Okay. So you're going to be able to figure this out. But I'm also going to tell you this. It took me years for people to start replying, because here's how it works. These people have thousands of emails coming in from their family members, from their work, and they're all urgent, you know, because they're trying to keep this job because they're working at a desk that everybody else wants to sit at. So they have to like quickly go through their emails, and if they don't recognize your name, you're not bothering them at all. They'll just delete it. They won't even recognize it. So you have to do it several times until you find the moment where they actually had 5 minutes and they're at their desk just going like this, and they actually read on it. And maybe that time they click on your music, and maybe it's the 15th time you write they click on your music. And then eventually they'll say to you, great, downloaded. Or eventually they'll say to you, you have to first become a vendor. You have to talk to our business affairs side. I can't even use your music until I know that everything is kosher and I can clear it and there's no legality issues. So what I'm telling you is this. Yes, you can do it, but it's way easier to find a person who has relationships, who's already getting searches, who loves the shit out of you. Now, I've been in situations where I've had people who were like signing me, right? And I was coming home and telling my husband or my, friends at the time, oh my God, so-and-so is going to sign me. They're going to pitch my music. And I was so excited, but really that's not where you want to be. You want to be there and excited that they're excited only if they're excited, not because you're on their roster. Because if they're like doing you a favor, like it's good enough, we'll take it, and they're gonna now have you on there exclusively, and you're sitting on a shelf collecting dust. That is the worst possible scenario. And so in my past, I was with a few people who were pretty reputable. They signed me, and I'd get like 3 or 4 things a year. And I started thinking, well, if I got Special K and Pretty Little Liars and Hasbro, maybe if I pitched myself every day, I could get more because somebody thinks it's good at the end of the day, but maybe it's not getting in front of people enough. So I started working on it. And, I took the time to do that. So not everybody has that kind of personality. If you're willing to spend time being persistent, not feeling rejected, and writing to people and knowing how to write to people so things are personable and not businessy, and you're not sending email blasts, but you're literally sending emails to Maria, to Ben, to Robin, to John, and you're like, hi, and you know how to get through, and you're willing to do that 60 times before you hear back, you can potentially do that. And if you're not willing to do that, then go to all the people like me, because there's hundreds of us who pitch music, who have a good reputation, and say to me, is the music there yet? Or would it be stupid for me to send to Robin and John and Maria, the agencies, because the music's not even really ready? Or is it ready? And if it's ready enough, do you feel so psyched about it? Because I'll tell you what, if anybody sends me music that is fantastic, I'm going to pitch it every single day, at least 5 times. So that's nothing I would want more than that. So I would say look for a person. And if let's say you come to 4 people like me and 2 of them are like, that's good, I'll sign you. Go to the person, even if they have a smaller name or less glossy credits, go to the person who can't wait to get you out there. And there's also people who will pitch you non-exclusively because they care about you as a human, and they can't sleep at night if they think that they're not really going to pitch you every day, and they want you to have all the opportunities out there. So they'll say, I'll pitch you and so could pitch you, and we'll take a commission if something happens. And that's really the best possible scenario.
Yeah, I had a question about that. I would assume most of these ad deals, they're on the exclusive side, or, it just depends.
They're all not exclusive.
Yeah. Okay.
They're not exclusive. Ads would not be able to afford it. If they were going to take you on exclusively, they would have to probably spend $500,000 to use that song. But non-exclusively, they're going to use it. Now, they might say that they want it exclusively for that product category for the 3 months that it's running for the product category. So let's say you're in McDonald's, they might say for the 3 months that we have you on air, we don't want you doing fast food, but you could still do shoes. You could still do clothes. Okay. You could still do cars. So if it's going to be exclusive, it's going to need to be more money.
And I had a couple questions in the chat. First, how many times do you think you can email the ad agencies or whoever before they reply, like enough to maybe get their attention, but not being annoying?
So here's the thing. I would err on the side of never, ever, ever, ever thinking you're annoying, because everybody thinks they're annoying, so no one does anything.
Yeah.
So I would err on the side of just being persistent.
And
but I would also be extremely sincere and extremely nice and extremely personable, and I would not send more than 3 sentences every time. Let me put it this way. I have sent thousands of emails. I have never once said, here's my credits, here's my reel. I don't do that. They don't care. They're not impressed. They've seen, I've done tons and tons of ads. Last year I did Walmart and McDonald's and, Payless and Quaker Oats. I've done tons of stuff. Who cares? That's what they do all day long. So what do they care about? They're taking a chance on someone that they don't know. You're a human being. Be human. Be a human. Say something human. And then be very polite with what you're asking for. I would love it if you could click on this one song. Because guess what? If the song is amazing, it doesn't matter if you've had no credits or if you have 20. They're going to feel something in the song. So I would say just keep doing it. And I would, Yeah, that's what I would say.
And then someone asked if you've done anything or had placements in movies.
Yeah, I've done movies. I don't talk about them, but I should. Last summer, I did the movie Southpaw with Jake Gyllenhaal, and that was really fun. And it was, I was in this magazine in August. Look at me, how fancy I am. Variety, and it was actually the article. Where is it? I don't even remember what page it's on. That's not great because right now I should be able to get right to it. So the beginning of the article is actually all about this movie Southpaw. Oh, here it is. There's me.
Yep, there you are. I read that.
Licensing code. The beginning of the movie, it says, when protagonist Billy Hope visits a children's home, and director Antoine Fuqua's latest feature film Southpaw, an infectious melody plays. It's nothing like the movie's adrenaline-pumping rap, but for singer-songwriter Kathy Heller, this is the sound of her success. And then the music supervisor said, you need to have a lot of magic when it comes to getting songs in movies, and he says, I've used...
Hey guys, Michelle here. Are you ready to dig deeper into music licensing? Then my music licensing course is for you. It is jam-packed with information from crafting your songs and your instrumentals for film and TV. It covers the business side, understanding the terminology, the different types of contracts. We talk about how to prepare and produce your music for music licensing, talk about networking and pitching. I provide hands-on exercises for you so you can hone your skills and kind of practice what you learned in the course. We also have a private Facebook group where you can post questions and your answers to the exercises, and you'll get feedback. Plus, I'm going to have conference calls, where you can ask me anything about the material, and we'll connect on a regular basis. I like to be really personal with these courses, so I really want to get to know you and understand what your questions are about music licensing. We're going to have expert interviews with music publishers and artists who are getting their music licensed, so you can see in the real world what people are actually doing and hear from these experts in the field. This class is so detailed. You're not going to find anything like this on the internet, not to this level of detail. It's gotten great reviews, and it will really help you open up a new income stream for your music. So whether you want to just get your songs in a few TV shows, or you want to make 5 figures or more, you can do it through music licensing. So check out the specials that we're having. Read more about the course. You're not going to find, again, anything like this. Even if you take this courses in college, they're not going to be to this level of detail, and you're going to get more bang for your buck in this course. So check it out and sign up, and I can't wait to see you in the course.